In this video, we're going to be going over the top 5 best SMGs in Warzone, so you know which ones you should be choosing after the Season 4 update. If you enjoy weapon stat breakdowns and weapon comparisons, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel as well. So this video is mainly going to be talking about SMGs. That is the main weapon category people tend to choose from when it comes to a secondary weapon to go with an AR or a sniper rifle. If you do like to use shotguns, here is a Gallo 12 shotgun build that is really good and it's probably the best shotgun in the game at the moment. If you like to have a secondary weapon with your Ghost or Restock class, this Psychov class is definitely a good option as well. If you want a little bit more movement and you do like the full auto pistols, then the AMP is also a fantastic option, and because it's a Cold War weapon, you're going to get slightly faster movement. And if you want something in between that performs extremely well, then the Daimati pistol, a single pistol with this build right here, is also a great option too. Now when it comes to the SMGs, there's two really important stats in my opinion that I think makes an SMG great inside Warzone. One is time to kill, and two is overall movement speeds, because you do want to move around really quickly with your SMG, have good strafing and all that kind of stuff, so I do think is very important you get good movement with your SMG. And then time to kill is kind of self-explanatory. You want to kill people as quickly as possible, especially at close range. You don't want your gunfights to be taking any longer than a couple of seconds. So like I said, those are the two main things. Recoil isn't really that important because recoil you can manage at a very close distance. But let's look at some of the best SMGs in Warzone right now. So we've got the AK-74U, the nail gun, the Bullfrog, the MAC-10, the Cold War MP5, the PPSH, and the LC-10. Now, as you can see, most of these are going to be Cold War weapons, and the reason for that is that the Cold War guns have better movement than the Modern Warfare options. So for the AK-74U, if we're looking at overall movement speed, it's 4.92, and the ADS movement speed is 2.9. So it's not the best out of this list, as you can see. Now, picking up some of the best ones here, we're looking at the nail gun, which gives you a movement speed of 5.01 meters per second, and then an ADS movement speed of 3.29 meters per second. So that is really quick. The Bullfrog isn't the best either. As you can see, it doesn't really move that quick. Then we've got the MAC-10. This actually does move the quickest out of all of the SMGs in the entire game. So the MAC-10 is the fastest moving gun. And again, the ADS movement speed is pretty quick as well. Then we've got the Cold War MP5, and again, it's not the fastest, but it is a little bit quicker than the Bullfrog and the AK-74U. The PPSH is quite close to the MAC-10 when it comes to overall movement, and then the LC-10, again, is nowhere near the movement of the PPSH, the nail gun, or the MAC-10. Like I said, time to kill is also extremely important, and here we have the time to kill charts for all the weapons that I've just mentioned earlier on. And we can see the AK-74U is orange, the nail gun is purple, or pink even. We've got the Bullfrog in the cyan, MAC-10 in green, MP5 in the purple, PPSH in the lighter pink, and LC-10 in the brown. And as you can see, the nail gun just absolutely fries right now. This gun just kills so quick. It actually kills faster than the AS-Val as well. So I have no idea how this gun kills so quick. And it's not even really an SMG, but regardless, it is the fastest killing gun up close in the game right now. Second to that, we do have the Cold War MP5. Now, even though it doesn't have the best movement, it does have a 50 round mag, and it also has a really fast time to kill. Then we've got the rest of the guns. They are quite bunched together here. They don't really stand out amongst the rest. I mean, the Bullfrog's probably the next quickest TTK. And then that's where you need to think about the other stats and the other qualities that these guns have. So the LC-10 is probably the lowest recoil SMG in the game, so I still think that has a place. And then if you take off the open bolt delay from the MAC-10 and the PPSH and the guns that do have it, you can see here that the PPSH actually has the third best TTK out of all the SMGs. Starting off this number 5 list, and I'll give an explanation to why I've put certain guns in certain places, but we have the Bullfrog at number 5. And the reason we have the Bullfrog at number 5, it doesn't have the best movement, it doesn't have the best TTK, but it's the most balanced SMG in the game. So if you're trying to find something that just performs well overall, the Bullfrog is your best friend. And for the class setup, I've been using this class setup recently. I've been using the GRU suppressor. I do know the sound suppressor doesn't give you any constant ADS, but I've been using the GRU suppressor for the benefit of vertical recoil control. Then I've been skipping over the barrel entirely, not using anything there. I've been using the 65 round mags because I feel like this is more than enough, even for quads. The iron sights on this gun are pretty clean too, especially now after they fixed it, so you don't really need an optic. I do use the serpent wrap to compensate for the suppressor. I do also use the skeletal stock for the faster strafing speeds. And then lastly, I do tend to go for the Tiger Team Spotlight for the faster movement. Like I said, this gun doesn't move that quick, but adding on this attachment will help. And there we have a great well-rounded SMG. So this gun has low recoil, good movement when you add on that Tiger Team Spotlight. It has an insanely large magazine options. You can even get 85 rounds if you wanted to, and it allows you to strafe pretty quick as well. At number 4, it can almost be a tie between the PPSH and the Mach 10. Both have really good movement speeds, but the reason why I chose the PPSH is that if you do remove that open bolt delay and you're already firing your weapon, the PPSH is going to kill quicker. Not to mention it also has a larger magazine option with 55 rounds as well as 71 rounds, so you are going to get better and bigger magazine options. And the build I would use on the PPSH is I would take the 71 round drum because it is a great option to have. Then I would use the regular sound suppressor. You don't want to hurt your ADS time that much, especially using that drum. You do want to have a fast ADS with this gun, of course. Then I would go with the task force barrels to give you the faster strafing speed. I would also add on the PKM stock for the even faster strafing speed. This will allow you to move around really quick. Then for the last option, you could choose a couple of different options. First, you could choose the Tiger Team Spotlight if you want faster movement, but this gun already moves really quick as we've just saw. I would actually rather go for the Serpent Wrap to compensate for those larger magazines because they do hurt your ADS. At number 3, we have the LC10, and the reason why we have the LC10 at number 3 is because it's one of the lowest recoil SMGs in the game, and if you want a gun that's sniper support, this is probably one of the best. And for the builds, you could build this in many different ways, but I tend to build this for speed because again, this gun is lacking speed. For the muzzle, I actually go for the regular sound suppressor. You don't want to hurt your ADS times with this gun. And on top of that, you do get a slightly faster sprint to fire, which is really important when it comes to SMGs. Then for barrel, the task force is definitely the best. You get the faster strafing speed. It does give you a con to recoil, but again, this gun barely has any recoil in the first place. Then I would definitely go for the Tiger Team Spotlight with the LC10. It's definitely one of the best attachments to use on this gun. I would go for the SAS combat stock, and that is not only just because this blueprint looks really cool and you get the reactive camo, but also it gives you faster strafing speeds, which is really important, especially in those kind of mid or close range gunfights. You want to dodge as many bullets as you can. And then lastly, I would go for the Stanag 55 round mags, and that is how you build the LC10 to get good movement and low recoil. At number 2, we have my favourite SMG in the game right now, which is the Cold War MP5, and the main quality for this, of course, is its TTK. It has one of the best TTKs in the entire game, and like I said, it is a great option. So the build that I use is the Stanag 50 round drum, and that is because you want the largest ammo capacity possible. Then I would go for the agency suppressor. The reason for this is that you do get vertical recoil control with the agency suppressor on the Cold War MP5, and you do need that with this gun. It has really crazy recoil. Now, I do tend to use a blueprint so I can get this cleaner iron sights as well, because I don't like using optics on SMGs. I feel like it's a waste of an attachment. I do choose the Serpent Wrap for the faster ADS times, and that is because the 50 round drum will hurt your ADS. And then I go for the Raider stock as well for the faster strafing speeds. And then lastly, I tend to use the steady aim laser, and that's because I do want to have slightly better hip fire accuracy, but you could also choose the Tiger Team Spotlight. Both are great options, and that is the way I build the Cold War MP5, and I've found that it works extremely well. At number 1, we have the nail gun. Now, this gun doesn't have any attachments, so there's no class setup. The iron sights on this are pretty bad, to be completely honest, so I'm surprised it's actually in the SMG category. But it kills so quick, and it has one of the best movements in the entire game, so it's almost a no-brainer. Killing enemies with this is just too easy, and they do need to nerf it. But in the meantime, feel free to use the nail gun. It is the best SMG at the moment. So there we have it. Those are the top 5 best SMGs or close range weapons that are currently inside Warzone. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel, and thank you very much for watching.